movie review, Under the Skin, starring Scarlett Johansson. I'd like to get some preliminaries out of the way first. Oh, many spoilers ahead. Spoiler alert. Directed by Jonathan Glazer. Dan Landon's cinematography was brilliant. So was the score by a woman, a Micah Levi. Almost half the crew were women. So nice division of labor there, Jonathan Glazer. Another possibly interesting side note, about 40 minutes into this and on the radio in the movie, they mentioned that the vote for Scottish independence is upcoming. Well, upcoming no longer, because that vote is happening today, right now, as I film this. We got about 6:15 a.m. here, 6:20. Would that be Central Time Zone, Wednesday, September 17th? I think the Scots are about 8 or 9 hours ahead of us, so polls are still open. My overall, perhaps unique, perhaps not unique, overarching take on this movie is that it has a dual theme, too. It's about equal parts a feminist movie and a men going their own way, or MGTOW, or men's rights activist kind of a movie. I think this movie shows both sides. I think this movie supports both. Just about no sooner than the Scarlett Johansson character gets a human body to perambulate around Scotland in, she starts luring men to her lair, where they are then captured in oozing fluid and fleeced. In the novel of the same name, written by Michael Faber, or Michael, M-I-C-H-E-L, the bodies of these adult human males are then transported to underground organ harvesting operating rooms, where they are processed. Now, this is in the book, not the movie. Anyway, I think of this as an allegory. Young, single women who don't know any different date men, one man after another, as long as the money stays good. And one thing leads to another with one of them eventually. Pretty soon they're married, kids, then divorce, whereupon these men continue to pay alimony and child support to these women, and often these women brainwash their kids against their fathers. At a certain point, the Johansson character starts wondering if there isn't something more to these human males, if there's more to men than just taking their money, i.e. taking our organs. She wonders if there isn't a thing called true love, or capital L love. So she finds a man who seems particularly chivalrous and kind, thoughtful, and caring, and she attempts to fall in love with him. This, of course, backfires because she's been in the business of faking love and fleecing wallets for so long that the pursuit of giving rather than taking is just about completely alien to her. She runs away from her fellow aliens, tired of harvesting organs or something, trying to find the true meaning of life, and she's alone. They, the motorcycle alien guys, aren't there to protect her, and she runs into a rapist who almost rapes her. It's definitely a case of attempted rape, very violent attempted rape, whereupon in the process of raping Johansson, he discovers that she's an alien, so he finds some gasoline or petrol and burns her to death. That's the MGTOW, or men's rights activist version. The feminist version is just about the same, except when Johansson acquires her first human body, it's said by other reviewers, and I can somewhat see it as well, that she is being raped, or raped, in the beginning of the movie. It seems like the human hostess, the body that the alien begins wearing the skin of, is killed or becomes lifeless, and rape victims often report that they feel lifeless after their rapes, followed by Johansson seeking revenge against all members, or as many as she can get her hands on, members of the gender of the person who raped her. I think the rape scene at the end is very different than the rape scene at the beginning, but I can very well see far-fetched allusions in other movies or books, accept them, even voice them, espouse them before others follow suit, and so I do not mind that this earlier scene is being described as a rape by feminists, or feminist reviewers, or those sympathetic to the feminist narrative contained in this movie. any questions about some of these other far-fetched, whatever, illusions that I espouse, question down there in the comment section, and I'll get back to you on that. And yes, there was catcalling in this movie, which is another plank of third-wave feminism. That plank being something like catcalling is a prelude to rape, or a reminder that rape is always just around the corner by someone probably just like the catcaller, and more. Something else, though, something that makes me think that the director of Under the Skin was and is keenly aware of the gynocracy is this. Yes, women are striving for independence. Women are striving to be equal. They want equal treatment. But what is the reality that the aliens noticed? The aliens didn't want to be caught. The Johansson character always asked the men she was about to pick up in her van if they were alone, if there was anyone at home waiting for them, if loved ones checked up on them often, if there was anyone who would miss them if they were to suddenly disappear. Okay, so here's the deal. Why did the aliens only need male organs? They couldn't use female organs? My answer to this is that the aliens knew that with so many women being looked after and easily missed, and with there being a lot more males on this planet who are living alone and who won't be missed, at least not quickly, and if missed, there won't be these huge giant alarms that get sounded like there would be with women who suddenly turned up missing. If the aliens went after women, they knew, from what they had been able to gather about the status of women in general, as compared to the status of men in general, the aliens figured it out that if they went after our privileged class or caste, women, that they, the aliens, dramatically increased their chances of getting caught. In other words, the director of this movie knows about the gynocracy. He's saying, in this movie, it's so obvious that we Westerners live in a gynocracy. It's so plain and visible that even visitors from another planet would pretty quickly pick up on it and adjust their battle plans accordingly. 49 minutes into this movie, there are some hooligans messing with Johansson's van, and if she would have rolled her window down any further, they probably would have tried to injure her too. More grist for the feminist mill. Attacks do happen. Do hooligans only target women? Men get attacked more often than women, as far as street crime goes. I think it's like 80-20, and there are conflicting reports as to who takes it on the chin more around the home. And then there's the cake eating scene. Just how slowly and sensuously Johansson takes that bite, only to very aggressively spit it out. A reminder of the old "can't have your cake and eat it too" axiom. The man she tries to fall in love with, he carries her over a puddle like he's a groom and she's a blushing bride. Soon they are in a castle, and she's all worried and scared, and he comforts and guides her. Here I have to ask, what do feminists want? Do feminists want independence, or do they want chivalry? Or do they want both? Feminism comes along and says to women, you can have more. You can eat more than only celery sticks and salads. Women in their late teens and 20s need nourishment for themselves, and if they're pregnant, for their fetuses as well. Society telling women that they have to be thinner and thinner and thinner, it's wrong, says feminism. But where, though, I ask, where can we take this feminist theme? Or rather, where is it taking us? Do feminists want the best that today or modernity has to give them, plus they want all the best of chivalry too? And where does the gynocracy fit into this? Why would a woman turn down the spoils of living in a gynocratic world, plus she gets the benefits of feminism to boot? This is where I go back to saying that I like the parts of this movie that show how women are just using men, sitting back in supposed submissive roles, but only, they'll stay in that submissive role only if he's giving and giving, i.e. being chivalrous, paycheck after paycheck, etc. The second, though, that she can't get any more out of him, he becomes just another organ donor, and some guy on a motorcycle comes along and picks up his shell of a body, takes him to the harvesting area, and harvests his organs. Winding up here, I would be remiss if I failed to mention the gorgeous shots of the Scottish cliffs and beaches. country roads, sleepy villages. For more for all the organ harvesting women in Scotland, I would say visit. Yes, even emigrate there. Seems like a beautiful place.